This deck is a bloody good time.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Thank you to Untap.gg for sponsoring my channel and this video. If you want to get a better experience while playing Magic the Gathering Arena and better your gameplay and knowledge, I highly recommend using Untapped while you play. You can download it in the description of this video. And thank you to Untapped for both helping me track my stats and for sponsoring this channel. Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars! I'm Amy the Amazonian, and this deck is Vampires. We're playing Edgar Charmed Groom. I'm using the alternate art here, Dracula the Voyager. We have actually a few different Dracula skins in here, so if you don't recognize a card right away, that's totally fine. This is a tribal deck that's all about vampires. Vampires are focused in 3 colors in Arena: black, white, and red. This lets us play 2 of those 3 colors. I also have a black-red deck with Anya at the helm. There's a separate Brawl Stars video for that. Maybe we'll record a new one too. And if you're feeling like, hey Amy, haven't you played this deck before? Yes, I have, but it has been updated with a bunch of new cards because they've added a lot of great vampires into Arena. I'm talking about things that have been added for Pioneer, like Kalida's Trader of Get. They put that in so you could play Explorer. It's a very good card in mono black, surprising nobody. I just actually added in Sarah Paragon because so many of the permanents in this deck are 3 mana or less, and this gives me a really good way to reanimate them. So we also have, of course, Vampire Lords, things that buff a creature of a type. We've got ways to draw off the top. We've got some high-end, just good cards, board wipes, and planeswalkers. But for the most part, we've got vampires. In fact, this deck has 34 vampires and 1 shapeshifter that's also a vampire. And that's not counting Edgar Charmed Groom, our commander. This deck does have a little bit of graveyard interplay, and actually has something strange when you're playing the commander itself. When Edgar dies, you actually want to not return him to the command zone. If he's exiled, put him back in the command zone, because he will transform into this coffin and spit out more vampire tokens, which you're going to be buffing when he comes back to the battlefield with all the other cards in your deck. It's a really cool way to get tons of value out of your commander. So we're going to take this into the queue and get a couple spooky games in. Our opponent is playing Soul of Windgrace, which means they're probably going to be destroying lands, cycling lands, and then bringing them back from the graveyard with this big old kitty cat. Turn 1, they are ramping, though. That's a Llanowar Elves. I don't actually have anything to do on turn 1, so drawing this dual land is fine. It's going to come in tapped. Hello, Llanowar Elf. How are you doing? You shouldn't hold those knives so close to your face. You might hurt yourself. Dig up. They are digging for a land. Gonna get a basic and put it into their hand. Probably a swamp. I'm just kind of guessing based on the fact that they don't have any black mana right now. They're having a struggle trying to find a basic land. Maybe they're like, oh, but more green. Ooh, but black mana. Ooh, but green mana. Ooh, but black mana. And there's a snow-covered swamp. My guess, by the way, is they're running snow lands because they're running a card called Blood on the Snow. We're also running it. It's a very good board wipe. They already played a land for turn, so they may as well hit me for 1. It's your move! Oh no, they're actually putting Llanowar Elf into Llanowar Elf. That's kind of spooky. And the only thing I'd be able to do about it is exile 1. I don't think that's a great move. So instead, I'm going to sit here and see what they do. They might play Soul of Windgrace, their commander. They might just keep on ramping, hoping to use Notvold's Slumber Mound to destroy a land, one of my lands, and make a troll. Thoughtseize! Hey, yep, I've got cards in my hand. I sure do. Take a look at them. They're pretty great. I think you get rid of Swords to Plowshares here. It is removal that gets around the indestructible option on Soul of Windgrace. Cool. Taking 2 from elves and elves and elves again. I could go for Dracula here. I could play 2 vampires. I could play a vampire and a buff. I think I'm just going to play Edgar, my commander. Here he is. Dracula the Voyager, or Edgar Charmed Groom. They're cycling a land. They'll be able to bring that back with Soul of Windgrace. But I have a 4/4 on the battlefield, which I'm pretty happy about. Here comes the Soul of Windgrace, gonna bring that land back. Soul of Windgrace being able to kind of re-ramp itself every time it enters the battlefield is so strong. Reminds me a bit of Golos, but much fairer because it doesn't have a stupid ability like Golos. I'm gonna see if I can find some removal. I'm going to use Dusk Legion Zealot. Draw a card. Okay, Blood Artist is still a great card for me to have. I'm gonna play Legion's Landing. And Blood Artist. Looking good, my friends. Titan of Industry is going to be able to destroy an artifact or enchantment, make a Rhino, maybe even protect Soul of Windgrace. Kind of up to them. This thing is very, very modal. Looks like they're destroying an artifact or enchantment. I like that. Getting rid of either my Legion's Landing before it transforms, or the Signet, and they're protecting Soul of Windgrace, putting this shield counter on it. They're not attacking in, though. Even with the shield counter, I think they're just looking to protect their commander. Speaking of which, Painful Bond! I want to get rid of that commander. Let's see, Soul of Windgrace is going to stick on this battlefield, though. And use Fabled Passage to get another white mana source. And I'm going to use the Phyrexian Tower to sacrifice my commander, making sure to not return it to the command zone. Play the Champion of Dusk. I'm just digging through my deck now, trying to find removal, and I actually did find removal I wanted. I found the Wandering Emperor. Wandering Emperor, if they attack in with Titan of Industry or Soul of Windgrace, I'll be able to essentially just take those out sorcery speed. Right now, there is a land in the graveyard, this Fabled Passage. They're able to take that. It comes in tap, so they can't use it right away. And I'm going to block with the Dusk Legion Zealot. That's just to remove that shield counter, prevent 5 damage to my face. Looks like it's time for the Notvold Silbermound to destroy a land. They get a troll. Do I want to use the Wandering Emperor to take out Soul of Windgrace or save it for their next attack? I think to interrupt the loop of Notvold Slumbermound repeatedly just coming back into play, I'm going to want to do this right now. They'll still be able to play Soul of Windgrace and do it again, but they won't be getting quite as much ramp out of it. So, there goes Soul of Windgrace. And hopefully I can find a way to get that out of the graveyard. I have a choice here. I actually could play Etchings of the Chosen. It would require sacrificing a creature. I think that that's fine. I am going to sacrifice this vampire token. Going to drain them a little bit more. Thank you, Blood Artist. And Etchings of the Chosen, naming Vampire. And we have more lands than I would have liked. Typically, this is not the amount of lands I would have. I would have drawn removal or more vampires at this point, but that's fine. I did get some removal. I got the Wandering Emperor. Their commander only costs 6 mana right now, so it's pretty easy for them to recast or bring back that. Oh, but Titan of Industry is swinging in. I'm going to go for a double block and hope they don't have any removal. Even a bolt would take these out. Even saving the Titan of Industry in the meantime. A Braid, yes, that is a bolt-like ability. And this is going to kill both the Champion of Dusk and the Wandering Emperor while keeping the Titan of Industry alive. Thankfully, Blood Artist still doing work for me. Really keeping me in this game. Fabled Passage, Rack and Grit in a land, going back to my graveyard. And I think it's time for Soul of Windgrace to return to play. If we had had more mana up, then we would have been able to protect one of our creatures, but we didn't. Etchings of the Chosen does require 1 mana to sacrifice to give Indestructible. Soul of Windgrace coming back. Do you take my Fabled Passage, or is it time for more land destruction and trolls? I really need a way to exile that out of their graveyard, but it's going to be hard because they can choose to sacrifice that anytime they want. There it is, the Nutvold Slumberbound. Blood Artist is just hoping for a board wipe. You have 1 green mana and it's holding priority. I don't like that. Okay, no, they were playing another land. I was trying to figure out what it would be. Baleful Mastery, we could take out the Titan of Industry, or I could hit the Soul of Windgrace again. I'm going to actually lead with a Vanquisher's Banner here. Buff up my little vampires, my little guys. Looking good. Looking good. Reclamation Sage. You're gonna destroy my commander? Destroy the Vanquisher's Banner? Looks like they're going for the banner. Banner is gone. No more banners. Not allowed. And they're destroying this. Okay, so I'm going to exile Soul of Windgrace. They'll draw a card. But this way, this is not coming back into play this turn. The repeated land destruction here, thankfully I can replace the land, but it's going to stop me from building up my mana base at all. Titan of Industry, swinging in. I think I just take the 7. It has Trample. Oh, and this Troll's here too. Yeah, unless I had a board wipe in hand, something I knew I could follow up with. I didn't like that. Ooh, Eat to Extinction. I'm going to actually just do this right now. Titan of Industry. Ooh, Alenda seems fine. I don't have too much use for mana here, so I'm going to play the Concealed Courtyard. And I'm going to attack with my commander. Nice. Alenda's nice, also rewarding me for things being destroyed, mine or their creatures. Soul of Windgrace, again, bringing back Nutvold Slumberbound. It just keeps happening. Two trolls. Just hanging out. Swinging in for 8 damage. I'm going to double block one of them to gain 6. Thank you, Blood Artist. You are doing great. Play this swamp. Here's Alenda. And I'm again going to swing in with Edgar. Ah, yes, I love the sweet smell of a creature dying. So does Alenda. Oh, look at that go. She's gonna get huge. Even right now, we could sacrifice her to make 4 3/3 tokens. It would be so good. So good! They're bringing it back. Or another land. They did not sacrifice this first. Got my Phyrexian tower at the ready. And I'm going to double block with these 2 vampires here. That way I'm just getting a little extra life. I think they'll choose to kill Alenda. And Alenda is going to unleash a teeny tiny little army here. Blood Artist is also going to be very happy about this turn of events. Oh, gorgeous. Look at all those chickens. I don't think that's going to work out quite the way you want it to. I'm going to make the Blood Artist indestructible here, just so he can watch all the carnage. Actually, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They just die. Decline. Blood, 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 and blood. Do you have any life gain? Do you have anything? You're taking your sweet time. You're thinking about it. I'm going to hit them with a hello. They were also a little slow at the start of the game, so maybe they're busy with something. Maybe they've got a dog that's chewing on their shoes, and I have to keep being like, no, Fido, those are my shoes. I need those for work. At 1:30 p.m. on a Wednesday. Very important time to do work. Kiss, salt, kiss, salt. Angel, 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 math, kiss, salt, kiss, salt. All right, well, while this group of emotes plays through, I want to say that doing this in Magic the Gathering Arena is not very nice. You shouldn't do this. If you're a person who, when they lose the game due to their own actions, chooses to rope their opponent, which is what this is called, where you burn through the timer, Don't do that. You're wasting your time, you're wasting their time, and you're really not accomplishing anything other than getting me to report you. If you've ever had somebody do this to you when you are playing Arena, this is a little pro tip, press escape and go to report a bug. Capture your log and contact support. You might be thinking, Amy, this isn't a bug. It doesn't matter that it's not a bug. If you go to that page, you can actually report a player. So I'm going to bring that up here in just a moment on the screen. This is just a little pro tip from me to all of you. There we are, I'm back in the middle here. So on this page, on this drop down, you have to go to report conduct. It will require you to log in if this is what you're trying to do. Platform, we are on a computer. What's our opponent's name? Guybrush27. That's is my in-game display name, Amazonian 4551. Because I think that's what it is. Exclamation mark DC. Oh no, it's 85 something something something. Oh, look! Well, we won. We'll finish that later. Danold is playing Chulane, Teller of Tales. This is going to be a Bant, Ramp, and Enter the Battlefield deck. Looking at my current hand, I think I'd like to have a bit more mana. We do have a 2-drop we can play, but it's not going to be that helpful for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough land to cast everything in this hand. Even my commander. We'll start with Scoured Barrens. It gains me a life. And I even got a Gifted Aetherborn for turn 2. We just drew a Markov Purifier for turn 3. Pretty happy about that start for this deck. Our opponent has played a Prosperous Innkeeper, which comes with a treasure token, and it will gain them life whenever a creature enters their battlefield. This is not going to be a creature, but it is going to blink. Thassa, the Deep Dwelling, who gets big enter the battlefield energy, and is also really hard for me to interact with my cards currently in hand. If she becomes a creature, awesome, Baleful Mastery. Until then, that's gonna be tricky. I have the choice here of playing Markov Purifier or holding my Baleful Mastery and paying the student cost to hopefully hit whatever they plan on blinking, or their commander if they play a land and then Chulane. That's a land, but it's not going to be their commander. It's Lonis Cryptozoologist and Skyclave Apparition. Lonis is going to make a clue whenever they have a non-token enter the battlefield, like Skyclave Apparition. They can sacrifice that to draw a card, or Lonis will actually be able to sacrifice it to steal from my deck. Lonis has a really cool ability here. Lonis is a card I really enjoy. I think that she's cool. Let's go ahead and attack with our token. Since you've exiled all my lovely little creatures, making me feel bad about that, and everything I have is able to be exiled by Skyclave Apparition, I'm just going to sit here and hopefully exile this. Fairgrounds Warden. They want to exile the token they made. That gives a really nice kind of alternating loop here. I'm fine with losing the 2/2 illusion. I'm hoping that they attack me this turn, though. They probably will with the Innkeeper. Or they can tell they have a read here that I want to destroy that Skyclave Apparition. Yep, so they have that figured out. They're blinking the Prosperous Innkeeper, and I'm going to exile the Skyclave Apparition. Now I have a 3/3. They're going to be able to blink the Fairgrounds Warden to exile it later, and they have a huge pile of clues building up. That's alright. I did get rid of the thing that would be able to stop my commander and stop a lot of the game plan of my deck. So I'm going to attack in for 3 here. I think that you could use Lonis. The mana curve of my deck, because I'm a tribal vampires deck, is pretty low, so sacrificing 4, you're actually pretty likely, I feel, to hit something. Would I like to play Kalidas or Dracula? Let's start with Kalidas, Trader of Get. A 3/4 life linker. If a non-token dies under my opponent's control, I get a zombie. I can also sacrifice zombies or vampires in order to make my monster grow. Kalidas Trader of Get is a really good value engine. It works well with single target removal. Even board wipes are pretty sweet with Kalidas. Oh, and Lotus is stealing from my deck. They got a Sanguine Spy, the Vampire Rogue from New Capenna. This is another card draw card, and it also gives them a way to sacrifice their creatures if they have something spicy they want to do with them. Tristani. You remember that you took my creature, right? Okay, great. They forgot. In case you missed that, Tristani has text. The text says at the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own. So, thanks? I guess. Oh, awesome. It's Angrath, the Flame Chained. Makes you discard, steals your little creatures. A very, very nice commander. I am not sure I want to keep this hand, though, because I only have 2 lands. Do I believe in the hard luck cards? I'm on the draw, and I have a lot of 3-drops. I do. I'm going to keep this hand out of pure greed. Temple of Malice, the bad ice. Whatever card they have, they're keeping it on top. Two mana, untapped, and a Waste Knot. Oh, that's one of my favorite cards. I love Waste Knot so much. I will exile your non-existent graveyard. Waste Knot means if I discard a card, and I will be discarding cards because their commander makes us discard quite frequently. If I discard a creature, they get a zombie. If I discard a land, they get mana. And if I discard a non-creature, non-land, they draw a card. Well, if we are discarding things, at least I have the Sarah Paragon to hopefully bring things back. And our opponent either disconnected or they're having a bit of a struggle trying to make up their mind. Okay, I think they're just trying to decide what card do they want to play here. Acquisitions Expert. I am going to give them the option between... Well, there's no option. I'm just going to give them eeny, meeny, miny, Sanguine Spy. Yahenni, Painful Bond. Let's go for... Go for Yahenni. I'm gonna swing in with both of these. Great. I'm happy enough with this. Yahenni becomes a 3/3. I don't want Yahenni to become too big, though, because Angrath is able to steal and sacrifice Yahenni. They're a cool Aetherborn Vampire. Key to the Archive is going to get them a draw and a drop here. It's going to give them one of these very, very powerful cards, which they chose to keep because they discarded a card that's normally in their deck, Hogrim Mauling. Here comes Edgar. My commander is out and ready to party. They have enough mana to play their commander next turn. Little spooky. And Yahenni has gotten a little bit bigger. You're gonna take my Yahenni? You're gonna take my Yahenni? You're gonna kill my Yahenni? That's totally not Jawsome. They could also just plus, and then I'll attack Angrath and destroy him. Oh no, Inscription of Ruin. They're gonna make me discard. I'm going to discard Rally the Ranks and Veto. Those are both cards I can bring back with Sarah Paragon. Because I have a creature here, they're going to get a zombie. And because I discarded a non-land, non-creature, Rally the Ranks is going to draw them. Yep, one zombie, one draw. Cool. Alright, so they've got a Defender zombie here. I'm just going to use Painful Bond to draw. See what I can get here. Probably just going to end up playing this. It'll just hurt more. Neat. Alright, in we go. We attack. The wee tiny zombie dies. Yahenni gets ever bigger. And I'm playing the Voldaren Bloodcaster. I lose a life because I did play Painful Bond. Oh, okay. Soul Shatter. Bye, Drac. I'm not going to put my Edgar into the command zone. Instead, I'm going to let it come back as Edgar Markov's Coffin. He's just gotta hibernate for a few days. Angrath's coming out. Hi, Angrath. Do plus or minus. Okay, so they're doing the thing we thought they would do, which is stealing and sacrificing Yahenni. Yahenni attacks, I'm not going to block, and now Yahenni will die at the end step. They might have another way to sacrifice it other than the automatic. Ooh, okay. They're feeding the swarm, too. Giving me blood. I don't want to use that blood, though, because any discard, even discard I control, is going to trigger that Waste Not. I'd really love to have a second white source, though, for this Sarah Paragon. I have so many cards I can bring back. Only one per turn, but... oh, I want to bring them out. I want Vito, I want the Vampire, I want the Sanguine Spy. Yahenni, even. We're going to discard Haunt of Hightower here. I would be able to play it with one more land, but I am really hoping to get the Sarah Paragon value. I also already have a flyer here to hopefully get me a little bit of reach to take out Angrath. Nice! Tiny Bones! Tiny Bones is going to hurt me if I don't have any cards in hand. Also draw cards because I discarded. More teeny tiny vampires. Aww, it's the Slaughter Specialist. It's the S-Laughter Specialist. I'll attack Angrath. And I have the choice here of, do I want to Waste Not? Do I want to maybe discard this? They will get to draw a card as well. They'll get to draw a card and make a zombie. I'm going for it. Slaughter Specialist. Next turn, our commander will return. And actually leading with a Duress. This is going to show them what we have in hand. It's Sarah Paragon. They won't get to discard it because it's a creature. Now Angrath can come out, and I suspect they're going to make me discard it, or they're going to steal and sacrifice the Bloodthirsty Aerialist. Yeah, they know what's up. There goes the Sarah Paragon, and that's going to draw them a card at end step and get them a zombie. Hey, little dude. We have no cards in hand, which is dangerous because of Tiny Bones. So we might want to go ahead and take him out. Oh, I just kind of like attacking face here. I like it very much. All right, everybody in. Awesome. I can survive Tiny Bones' ability. And since we have these big little creatures, I'm actually going to exile Angrath. I have no cards in hand, so there's nothing that Waste Not would get me. Tiny Bones' ability costs 6 mana. That's almost all their mana. They have 2 over here as well. They have Judgment. Everybody's dead. Will I move my commander to the command zone? No, I won't. So that is, by the way, if you're wondering how did they get a white card in their deck, that was from Key to the Archive. Oh no, and they're stealing! Gaunty, you wouldn't steal from me. We're buddies, we're bros, we're homies. He does not care. Well then. I am going to go ahead and sacrifice a vampire here. That little vampire. To deal 3 damage to Gaunty. No Gaunty allowed. Thank you. I don't know what card they took from me, but it's probably going to be removal or a vampire, because that's what most of our deck is. Removal or vampires. Sometimes it's things that buff vampires, not vampires themselves. Ooh, Liliana, that is a scary planeswalker. Going to spit out a zombie every single turn, and has this sacrifice ability and an ultimate ability that gets rid of pretty much everything I have. That's very freaky right there. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sacrifice a vampire. This one. And I think I'm just going to hit their face. I feel like I should just try to race the Liliana. Alenda, the Dusk Rose. That is what they stole. That is not the sort of thing I want to see them have. They have 6 damage. Actually, 7 if they use the Goblin token attacking Soren as well. And now Alenda's just like, I wanna make some friends. I don't want you to make some friends. I am going to give you a little zombie token as I dig desperately for answers. That's a very, very good card. Twilight Prophet it is. And, I guess I could attack. I would rather not, because I'd actually really want to make sure I have insurance against the -4 ability. Though they could Angrath, steal a thing, then make me sacrifice the other 2. I do have the City's Blessing, so at my upkeep, I will draw a card and it will drain my opponent. That's interesting. So they took Twilight Prophet, and I guess they'll sacrifice it? No! Okay. This is not a 3-drop. It is a 4-drop, so it will not be dead. Okay, Twilight Prophet, back under my control. Nullpriest of Oblivion and Soren the Mirthless. What's my biggest, coolest thing to bring back? It's either going to be Haunt of Hightower or Sarah Paragon. Sarah Paragon gives me the most lasting value. Haunt of Hightower is the cool card. I'm going to go with Sarah Paragon. I've been hoping to get this card out for so long during this game. And choices. Let's go for this. They'll be able to replay Angrath. Costs 11 mana, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, they could replay Angrath. Liliana, what do you want to do? You want to sacrifice this Alenda, make a ton of tokens? You want to steal something and then sacrifice it? Just want to make a zombie. Do you want to make me discard? Okay, they're grabbing Sarah Paragon. That's going to let them replay from the graveyard. I like the idea of bringing back that burglar rat, but they don't have the mana for it. Oh, wait, no, they do! Oh, but they're bringing back Tiny Bones. Okay. Bye, Sarah Paragon. Thanks for not attacking me first. Alenda's getting rather scary. They're going to gain 9 life, because she does have lifelink. They're gonna lose 6, though, and now I have a Liliana Dreadhorde General. I will plus. I'm going to attack Angrath again. This is quite the match. I feel like they should be sacrificing Alenda soon because she is getting to the point where just 9 1/1s is going to overwhelm me very quickly on the battlefield. Inquisition of Kozilek is able to discard the Silver Smoke Ghoul. This can return to the battlefield if I gain amounts of... Is it a 3 or more life? Yeah, 3 or more life during my turn. They have a bunch of lands they can animate here. I see Den of the Bugbear. I said Ben of the Bugbear. Den of the Bugbear's out. And they're all coming at me. Nice. I am going to choose to kill their land and just chump block Alenda because she's scary. It's Ben the Bugbear. Yeah, you know what? The Bugbear could be named Ben. Because we had creatures die, I will draw cards. Thank you for card advantage. Liliana, you are an incredibly powerful card. You are so scary. I'm very scared of you. Tiny Bones could kill me. Oh. Ah, there goes a Twilight Prophet. At least I get to draw more cards, right? And they were all lands. Why are they all lands? Soren, come out here. Soren, find me something that's not a land. Thank you! Oh my gosh, you're so nice. We're gonna exile Alenda. And then I'm gonna play Phyrexian Tower because I think it's fun. We're going to make another zombie, and we're going to, I guess, do nothing. We're gonna sit here. Hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. If they could play Angrath there, then they would absolutely be able to kill me with the plus. But, this is an important but, I destroyed one of their lands last turn. Den of the Bugbear got Den of the Bug blocked. And I believe that set them just low enough that they could not replay Angrath. Liliana's getting ever closer to ultimate ability. We have this Phyrexian Tower. We are able to sacrifice these creatures if we need to. We gain a tiny bit of life. All we need, a tiny bit of life. And by the way, if you were wondering, why did City Stalker Connoisseur not make me discard? They actually edited this card to say, target opponent discards a non-land with the greatest mana value. If you're sitting on lands like me, you don't discard, which this did just give my opponent that information of, I have nothing. My hand, like my head, is empty. Ooh, is everybody coming in? Nice. I don't think they have a way to sacrifice unless that last card in hand is, so we are going to block, block, and block some more. Meathook Massacre would have killed me. Oh no! But if they're able to get rid of my lifelink, and they are... Alright, I'm going to dig myself. Okay. 2 mana, removal, in black. We didn't get it. Good game, Angrath, the Flame Chained. Good game. Clothis, God of Destiny. She's going to be exiling from my graveyard to gain life, deal damage, and, most likely... So, occasionally give some mana. I love that. It's a great card. Clothis, God of Destiny, is going to be an indestructible enchantment. It's going to make some of my graveyard shenanigans a little bit worse. That's alright though, we have pretty good board presence here, and some of our things will come back the same turn they enter the graveyard, like our commander Edgar. Prosperous Innkeeper, getting themselves a treasure. Well, I'm gonna get myself a dead Innkeeper using Elspeth's Nightmare. Because a creature will have died, Arvad's also going to get bigger during our end step. Haha! He's now a 2/2. Oh, but Chandra Torch of Defiance probably has something to say about that, like, die. Rude, ma'am. Very rude. Check out your hand. Arlen, Chandra's Regulator, and Key to the Archive. Wow, I do not like any of these. I'm going to hit the Key to the Archive And I'm going to Banishing Light Chandra because they have Chandra's Regulator. I feel like they're just going to be able to get too much value, and even though I can kill it by attacking it in a turn or two, that's going to be asking a lot. Lotus Cobra coming out, getting mana. Elvish Rejuvenator gonna maybe hit a land. Top 5 cards. There was a land among them. They can't really use this last mana, though. Goodbye, Graveyard. I hope that they're not able to free you at any point soon. That would be bad. I'm gonna just play my commander. That's Edgar. Sometimes all you need is a 4/4. That's 4/4. 2 wolves, it counts. Klothys doesn't have enough devotion yet to be a creature, but she's really close. I could attack in, I could play Champion of Dusk, draw some cards. I'm going to go for drawing cards here. And the reason behind this is because I really would like another land for Liliana. And I did get lands, but they come in tapped. Bye, Arvad. He's gone forever. And I take 2 damage from Klothys. Ooh, they're not casting anything, they just plussed. They could cast at instant speed now. Very spooky. These all come in tapped, which is too bad. Sorin the Mirthless. Make a vampire. And then I'll scry. What do we find? Bloodthirsty Purveyor. Huh. Yeah. I feel like because we're up against a Gruul deck, getting big chunky creatures is a good strategy. Also, flyers. Oh, until they play something that's gigantic and has reach, like Elder Gargaroth. Yikes. That's a big boy. And it's also had a +1/+1 counter on it from Arlen's ability. Big yikes. Klothys is also now a creature. Arlen's indestructible, has trample. Klothys doesn't have trample, but she is indestructible. And Elder Gargaroth is just here to cause problems. Understandable. I as well. I can't keep Sorin alive. But I really do want to get rid of this Gargaroth. I'm actually considering a triple block. Yeah. Everybody on Gargaroth. Okay, they just took out the token. And they have a Rulik Mons. Hello, Rulik Mons. There are creatures in graveyards, but not in mine. Bloodthirsty Purveyor, gonna come out here. And I'll play the Bajukabog. And yeah, you know what? Let's attack Arlen. Decline. Bring it back. Klothys is doing work, as you might think she would. Arlen is plussin'. Lets them cast at flash speed. And this has mana, so I can't block. They did find a goblin. Ah, interesting. Yeah, you have mana. I feel like you may as well just sit on this, since you can't use it for anything. They disagree. They're like, yeah, I'll take mana. I don't need to do anything with my mana. I just like having it. I feel you on that. I also just like having mana sometimes. Okay. I'm going to play Liliana. I'm going to plus Liliana. I'm going to attack Arlen with the Bloodthirsty Purveyor. And then I'm going to sit here and protect this Liliana because she's a really, 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 really strong planeswalker. My creatures die, I draw a card. I make a creature every turn. I could sacrifice creatures for both players. That could even kill a god. I'll just block with this token. And then I'll draw a card. Dreadhorde General, you're so good! Make another one. Make another one. They're bricking, they hit lands. Aetherborn. Aerialist. You're probably not going to make me discard because you're a Gruul deck. So I'm just going to play this land. And then I'm going to go for your face with the Blood Vial. Blood Vial Purveyor, hitting for 5. Ouch. Nice. It's interesting to see Chandra's Regulator outside of a mono red deck or an Oops All Chandra's deck. I don't mind seeing it here, but it is an odd include. Champion of Dusk and this zombie token. Go ahead and block here. I think what they were trying to do is just get to the top of their deck, see if they could find something. They couldn't. It wasn't useful. They're gonna lose. Good game. It's Vampire's time to shine over the big Gruul Stompy boys. Thank you also to everybody who watched this video. As always, if you want to watch me record it live, you should come over to twitch.tv/Amazonian, where we play so much Magic. And I'm playing a whole bunch of spooky Brawl decks just in time for the Halloween season. So be sure to come on over and hang out with us while we play vampires and werewolves and zombies and tiny bones. He's got small bones, alright? He's a skeleton. It's scary. It's for Halloween. Hope you liked the video, and I hope to see you over on Twitch. Bye!